Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, bringing you guys a brand new Pokemon Masters video today. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a handful of things regarding the Pokemon Masters mobile game by DNA, as well as some leaked sync pairs that we should be seeing in the game very, very soon. We'll talk a little bit about the Lyra event going on right now, what's going down next week, and much, much more. For those who haven't been keeping up with Pokemon Masters, I want to let you know that they gave out a massive 6,000 gem bonus last week, which means that if you haven't played the game in a few days, or you never got the chance to re-roll in the characters you want, you can log in now and get 6,000 gems, which is quite a few pulls actually, and a really, really good kind of reward for a couple bug fixes. I'll have all the sources in the description below, but basically there was a few bugs. The primary one was to dire hit, which raises critical hit ratio. It was programmed wrong or incorrectly, and certain Pokemon and sync pairs got buffs as a result of it, making it so it boosts their critical hit chance by 2 instead of 1. So ultimately that has been fixed, and as a bug compensation fix, they decided to hand out 6,000 gems. Now, whether this is actually because of the bugs or because they didn't really give anything for the 10 million download milestone, or maybe because people were complaining so much, they did decide to hand out 6,000 gems, which is pretty massive if you ask me. I don't know if that's going to be the standard moving forward for this game, but if it is, that definitely shows a lot of promise for those free-to-play players out there trying to play through the game. Now, for those who haven't kept up, a new sync pair has just dropped, and that is Lyra and her Chikorita. Now, this Chikorita can evolve to Meganium, and it's a pretty cool Pokemon and a very good defensive support Pokemon that we actually have seen in Pokemon Masters. So there are some opportunities here to use Lyra, Chikorita, and Meganium, effectively, but we'll talk a little bit about whether or not it's worth your pull. One thing I want to note as well is there's 3 banners going on right now. You have the Lyra banner, the Olivia banner, and the Blue banner. All of those give you a higher chance to get their specific sync pairs, and you can actually pull the 100 paid gems every single day from each one of those. One thing I want to make note of, if you guys are trying to save your scout points, which is a little icon on the top right, that once you hit 400 scout points, you can actually pick a sync pair. You have to actually get those scout points from one banner, not all of them, so it doesn't add up. So if you pull, 20 sync pairs from Blue and then pull 20 sync pairs from Olivia, they don't add together for your scout points. So that's something really interesting to note. It kind of stinks. I think they need to fix that, but it's something I wanted to mention to you guys for those who are pulling. And the question is it worth getting Lyra in Pokemon Masters? Lyra is a very good support character with 5-star base potential, and obviously can evolve into Meganium. So Meganium is really, really strong. It's a really good defensive support character. As you can see, its HP ranks 1st, and its bulk overall ranks 6th in the game. It can get to level 100, and is a pretty solid grass-type Pokemon. However, we already have Superior, which is a 5-star that everyone has. So is it worth spending your gems or your money to get Lyra and Chikorita? My first thoughts is probably not. Not at this point in the game. It's got great health. It's got the ability to go for Dire Hit. Let's take a look at its moves. You got Energy Ball, very similar to Superior. Dire Hit All, that's going to raise the critical hit rate of all allied sync pairs. So that's pretty good. Sunny Side Up, if you raise your attack and special attack and speed of all sync pairs, and it raises them more if you're in the sun. So if you pair this thing with like a Ponyta, then you can actually get Sun Up and you can boost a lot. But in the current metagame as it stands right now, support characters are not very strong. Tech characters are not very strong. It's better off going all out DPS rush right now, because the opponent has an AoE or all of enemies sync move that removes all your buffs unless you're using something like a Xatu or like a Mega Pinsir or something with Impervious. You're gonna lose all those buffs anyway, so generally support characters right now take a backseat to the DPS characters. Your Olivias, your Blues. Those characters are gonna be way more effective right now in the co-op modes than you're going to find with support characters. So I'm probably going to try to get Lyra and Meganium, but for the average free-to-play person, I don't think Lyra is worth it. Unless you guys are big fans of Lyra and Chikorita or Meganium, I don't necessarily feel like she's worth pulling at right now. Does have light screen as well, which is going to reduce special effect or special attacking damage. So very supporty, right? You've got a couple different ways to support. You can boost your crit rate, you can boost your attack, special attack, and speed of your sync pairs. Then you can also reduce special effective damage done. Very good sync pair in terms of defensive prowess and support prowess. But again, the metagame is so defined by the by the strike sync pairs, and unless they make some drastic changes to how co-op works, or introduce PvP, there's not really much room for Lyra and Chikorita. Now, the next character that's likely to be released next week from a previous data mine, and this isn't even the good stuff yet, I'll get to that shortly here, is Oshawott and Hilbert. Now, Oshawott and Hilbert are a 5-star electric support pair, so another support sync pair, and you can see ranks just a little bit above where Meganium is going to rank in terms of overall bulk. Doesn't quite have the HP, but its defense and special defense do make up for that quite a bit, and it cannot evolve into Samurott. It is stuck as an Oshawott at this point in time. Let's take a look at its moves. It's got Aqua Tail, which is a not 100% accurate water move, so that's kind of a bummer. X Speed All, boosting your speed, but there's other characters that can do that. Swanna does that better, actually. In this together, the lower your HP is, the more this raises the attack of all allied sync pairs. That is a very, very good buff. In fact, that is one of the best buffs that we have in the game right now. Having the opportunity to boost the attack of all sync pairs based on how low your HP is. If you're about to go down, that could be massive. And this is what separates Oshawott and Hilbert apart. And then ultimately, again, Waterfall, which has a chance of making the target flinch. It's a little bit better of a water type attack. So my overall thoughts on Oshawott and Hilbert, same as Chikorita and Lyra. I don't necessarily think that it's worth spending these gems on these characters now. I think that they will have use down the road, so that may be worth your time. But if you're focused on free to play right now and you're focused on getting the most out of the game at this moment, I do not think either of these characters are worth your time. Again, I'm probably going to try to get them, but I'm also making videos, so it's a little bit different. I don't think, again, I can't harp on it enough, the co-op game mode just doesn't really allow for people to, you know, to use support characters. I mean, they can be used, Dustclops can be used, things like that, but generally your best approach is just an all-out DPS strategy, because again, your opponent has an AoE sync move, they're going to knock your buffs down, and it just makes any support characters very difficult to utilize in a co-op mode. And you can't really necessarily organize with your friends because most of the time you're connecting with randoms. So those are a couple things I wanted to note there. There is a new event going on, which is a grass type training event. Obviously, you can farm some different items up. They actually have added Barry to the co-ops as well. So he's got, it's like 2 Bronzongs and his Empoleon, and then it sends in Caracostas. You can do that as well. The best strategy there that I've seen is using Houndoom to get rid of the Bronzongs, and then using like Trico and Superior basically, or Trico and some other, you know, really strong maybe a Roserade, to knock out those Caracostas and the Empoleon. And a little tip for that, if anyone's doing that, use Bullet Seed on your Trico. Don't use Leaf Storm when you're specifically attacking the Empoleon. Empoleon's special defense is really high, so you're actually better off and you're going to do more damage using Bullet Seed. So just a little tip there. But again, there are some new events. There's more gems to be had, so you can kind of acquire those. It seems like a weekly event structure is going to be what they're aiming for, which is really, really cool. Now I'm going to show you guys the next thing here, which is actually on Keto Shiro's YouTube page. I'm going to link this page in the description below because I do think this is actually worth checking out. I got this is a data mine that I found from them. They posted it, and let's take a peek. So we've obviously got Meganium here using its sync move, but there's 2 new sync characters found in the data mine that Kiro has posted on their YouTube channel. Here you go. This is one of the first ones, which is going to be, I don't remember her name, but Tepig. So obviously we're looking at the Unova starters here. We're just missing Tepig. We're already gonna have Oshawott. We have Snivy already. And there is the big one, dude. The gym leader, Elesa from Unova, and she's got Zebstrika as her electric type attacker, and her sync move looks incredible. So those are the 2 new sync pairs that we actually haven't seen yet. There's Lyra and a Chikorita again, or Meganium rather. But again, 2 new sync pairs that we have yet to see so far in Pokemon Masters. Tepig and Elesa, which is actually really cool. And we need a good electric type attacker because right now, the best electric type is Togedemaru essentially, and it's not very good if we're being honest. And if Emboar or Tepig has a chance to evolve, it could end up being a very, very good fire attacker, perhaps outclass Emboar in the metagame right now in the DPS kind of category. So there are some opportunities there for some of these sync pairs to actually do better than the ones that we've seen previously. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming to Pokemon Masters. I still think they need to update the content a little bit quicker. It's a little bit slow to get some of these this content out, in my opinion, but I do think that the events that they're rocking with are actually pretty cool. They're really quick to play, but I also understand not everyone is grinding the game as extensively as I am. I still think there needs to be PvP, guys. That's the biggest thing, and that's been the thing that I've kind of harped on for a really long time, is the need for PvP, man. Otherwise, these support characters, these tech characters, they're essentially gonna be useless. If you can't status the opponent in these harder co-ops, if you can't, you know, it's no point in buffing when you're just gonna lose all your buffs to a sync move. These are things that need to be addressed in the game to allow the game to really flourish, in my opinion. I know there's people who don't want PvP, but I genuinely feel like it's gonna be the best step forward for this game, and I sincerely hope it's something they add to the game in the future. I know I would certainly enjoy it. I think the battle mechanics definitely lend themselves to being really successful with PvP. But I think we're gonna wrap up this video today, guys. Lots of news, lots of new sync characters, couple little previews on what we're probably gonna get next month. Hope you guys have been enjoying as well. Hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new for Pokemon Masters content and much, much more. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.